booted into a Bookworm Pup64 using my Ventor USB stick, which is here. Let me just go ahead and remove it just to make it less confusing. Here I have external hard drive that is recording the screencast video, and here's the internal hard drive. What we plan to do today is to go ahead and put two PuppyLInux into internal hard drive. This only applies to legacy BIOS, so you have to make sure that you have a BIOS setup that's in legacy. Either you can look into the BIOS itself if you know how to do it, or just run this command here and see if you get a something to the effect of no files. Then it is a legacy BIOS, so you can't follow this video tutorial. So given that, first thing we have to do is we have to partition the internal hard drive. So we can just go ahead and start gparted here, and in Bookworm there is a launcher, so it makes it easy. Otherwise you have to go to the menu F12 and then gparted is under system gparted here. So we'll just go ahead and start the gparted, and then we have to make sure it's SDG in this case. So we're just going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to have to make sure that it gets converted into device. Create the partition table has to be in msdos for legacy BIOS, and it's going to obviously wipe everything out. It's a fairly small size, so what we're going to do is just go ahead and give it a for PuppyLInux distros. Let's say we're gonna today we're gonna install two, but generally speaking, we're gonna give 2 gigs, but you don't really need that much for 2 puppies. But we'll go ahead and then we'll give it a label of pups, and then rest of it we're gonna give it make it a save partition. But if you have more than 4 gig of RAM, you don't really need to have a swap partition. But we're going to assimilate and then say we just want roughly a 1 gig of a swap partition here. But this itself is going to be a save partition, so we're going to give it a capital SAV. So I'm just used to just making it SAV, but you can name it anything you want. And then here we're going to go ahead and create a Linux swap, and then add, and we're just going to do apply whole thing here. It shouldn't take it should take less than a minute or so, and then we're gonna have to put a flag on it on the first partition. Now it's finished, and then we're gonna close, and then we're gonna go back to the first partition, right click, and then manage flags, and then we're gonna put a tick on the boot and close Alt F4. So the first part is finished. Now what we're going to have to do is put in PuppyLInux files into the first partition. So we're going to open this up. First partition, that's where the hard drive is, and we're going to make a folder inside, and then F4, make directory. We're gonna create CE, that's for F96-CE4, and then we're just gonna also Vanilladpup. So we're just gonna exit out of it. So minus sign here. So we're gonna put the F96-CE4 PuppyLInux files here and Vanilladpups here. So I have conveniently have a ISO. PuppyLInux ISOs on the external hard drive. So we're just going to go to F96-CE4 ISO, and then I'm going to say we want to mount it, and again we're going to get a minus sign, and then what you have to do is grab all the SFS. So control and left mouse click all the SFS files, and then VM Linux, which is a kernel, and then init.rd, and then ucode if there is a ucode. So you're going to grab all that with your left mouse and drag it over CE, and you're going to copy. And we're going to do exactly pretty much the same. ALT-F4 we're going to close. Now the other one we want to do is Vanilladpup, which is right here. So we're going to open that up, mount it again, minus, and then we're going to do pretty much the same. So I'm going to just drag this over here, and then SFS files 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then VM Linux init.rd, and there's no there is ucode. Okay, so okay, so we'll do that, and then we're just gonna drag it over to VP folder, and then so the installation of the PuppyLInux files is essentially finished. Now the Vanilladpup files are all copied, so we'll close this and this, and also this. Now what we're gonna do is go to grub for DOS. So control spacebar, grub for DOS 4. Okay, and then we're gonna start, and this is going to install a menu list in a grub configuration. So we'll just go ahead and let it do its thing, and we want to make sure we're only interested in SDG, so we're going to search within this device, and we also need a menu list, and then OK, and then we're going to wait. So now we want to just go make a first entry just the CE, just to make it less confusing. VP is fine, and then OK at this point, and OK. So it's going to install it into, and then installed it here, and then we're going to edit the menu list, and then we're going to take a closer look. We'll make it a little larger. So, and then CE is fine. Now the advanced menu and Windows is not really relevant, so we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of them. And then we have to specify where the save of partition is. So psave parameter equals capital SAV, that's the name of the label, and then SAVE, we're going to create a, under here, the save partition, we're going to create a directory, and we're going to name it just lowercase save, and then we're going to create it. So save folder is going to be inside once it's created. And then we are going to do that for VP also. So psave equals SAV, save. And then we're going to go ahead and save it, and then close. And then we're pretty much done. And what we're going to do is we're going to have to reboot. At this point, it's going to ask, the computer is going to ask whether you want to save anything. You want to say no. And then make sure you do remove any other bootable stick. We've already removed the Ventor USB, so it should just start into the booting process of a hard drive that we just created. So I'm just going to Now I have booted into a hard drive now, into Vanilladpup64, and I had installed the simple screen recorder so we can do this. Made it so we want to go to America and Los Angeles in my case, and then English is fine, time from internet is good, and then we want to go ahead and OK, and then successfully everything is done. So we want to synchronize a clock each time, and then basically what I want to do is go ahead and right now there is no save file. So what you need to do is after you finish the quick installation setup, you need to go ahead and reboot. And when it reboots, it asks you whether you do want to save, and you want to say yes. And then I'll just do this carefully here so we don't mess anything up. But let's just go ahead and say simulate. We're going to leave and reboot. So we do want to save at this point. Okay, I just have to make sure that I don't mess up my screen recording. So, and then you want to get a normal at this point. We definitely want to save folder. Okay, and then you can go ahead and put your initials on here or whatever, or you can leave it blank and then go. And then, but you do want to save, and when you reboot, then you will see a save folder within a save folder here. So you'll see a save folder being created. So I've done that already just to make sure, and I also did it for CE4, and both of them worked fine. So I hope that's been helpful.